Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to tape drywall, and I will be specifically showing you how to tape the area where two pieces of drywall meet. So if you take a look right here, there is a seam, and that seam has been formed from these two pieces of drywall meeting, and I will show you how to properly tape that. So let's get right to it. The first step is to actually apply the tape onto the seam of the drywall. So there are basically three types of tape that you can use for the most part. One type of tape requires you to put a thin layer of mud on the seam and then put the tape over that layer of mud. So if you have that type of tape, you're going to want to put a thin layer of mud and put the tape on. The other type of tape, the second type, is like a mesh type of tape, and that will basically stick onto the seam. So you can just simply take the mesh tape and stick it right onto the seam. And the third type of tape is the type of tape that I have, and it's the type that I like the most. And with this tape, you simply wet it, and then you can stick it right onto the seam. So you're going to do whatever it takes to actually get the tape onto the seam, and that will obviously vary depending on what type of tape you have. So I'm going to take this tape right here, which is, like I said, the type that you wet and stick on. I'm going to measure it just like that by hand, rip it, and now I'm going to wet this piece of tape and stick it onto the seam right over here. Alright, now that the tape is wet, I'm simply going to stick it over the seam. And I'm trying to get it, sort of in the center so that it covers the same amount on this sheet of drywall and on this sheet of drywall. I'm just going to simply press it down onto the seam just like that. Now, once you have actually applied the tape onto the drywall, you are going to get some mud, and you are going to spread a thin layer of mud over that tape. And as you can see, I've already done it over here, so I'm going to show you how to do it on this brand new piece of tape right here. I'm going to get some mud, and I'm going to put it on a putty knife, and I'm going to show you how to spread it over top of the tape. Alright, so now that I have some mud, I'm going to spread it over top of the tape. Now the goal here is to get a very thin layer of mud over the tape. So I'm just going to take the mud, I'm going to place it on the tape like that, just get it on there, then I'm going to spread it across. We're going to do the same thing, so I'm just going to grab a little bit more mud, just blob it on there, and then spread it across. Just like that. And make sure that you cover the entire area of the tape. So once again, blob it on there, spread it across. Don't press too hard, but don't press too lightly. And I know that science sounds kind of vague, but the goal here is to get a thin layer, but make sure you actually get some mud on there. So once you've spread it across all of the tape, you're going to want to make sure that it feathers out nicely. So once again, there are some hard edges up here, so you can just feather it out just like that. Make sure that you feather it all out so that you don't get any hard edges. And once you're done that, you can just give it one more spread across along the top, along the bottom. And it's literally that simple. You know what? There may be some areas where you'll have to add a little bit more, just like that. But give and take as needed. The point is to get a very thin layer of mud over top of the tape. So as you can see, I have sort of my rough mudding done, and once that dries, you're going to go ahead and you are going to continue applying more and more coats so that it has a nice even spread. But that is a video that I want to do completely separately. In this video, I just wanted to show you how to tape the drywall, and that is how you tape the drywall. It is a very rough job, but it literally gets the seam covered, and then you can worry about making it look perfect and making it look nice with the future coats of mud that you will be putting on after this first coat has dried. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.